Let's
talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's it going everyone today? It's the Man-Child. Alright, so today for review, we're going to take a look at the new Masters of the Universe times Transformers STARSCREAM Armor Scareglow, Evil Decepticon Ghost of Skeletor. So there we have it. It's our third figure. It's added to this Transformers crossover collaboration with the Origins. Scareglow, pretty cool, fan favorite. Definitely favorite of mine. You can see I have my Classics one in the background because I think he's such a cool character. And the Origins also did a really good job with their Scareglow, which I will bring in and compare to this Scareglow later because they're quite different. I mean, minus the mech armor. Now, you notice that on the packaging it says glows in the dark, right? That's cool because it's Scareglow, but it only seems like parts of the armor and arms glow from what I've seen so far. I didn't notice the legs or boots glowing. Maybe I got to put some more light on them or something, but that would be odd that Scareglow didn't glow all around, Anyway, once we get them out of package, we'll check it out. So if you're not familiar with the series, yeah, they don't transform. They're just pretty much MOTU Origins characters wearing Transformers mech armor or variants. I just look at them as variants. I like variants, so it's kind of why I'm collecting them. And here's a look at the box. Again, if you're not familiar, I only reviewed Skeletor so far, but yeah, you have like a digital imprint, right, or scan. You see Snake Mountain in the ground, whatnot. And then, of course, there's a logo up top. I think that what's interesting with the logo is the Transformers part is like Braille, pops out. It's pretty cool. I think the Turtles did that as well. And then here's a picture image of the STARSCREAM Armor Scareglow flying in the background. And then here's a look at the art and back of the packaging, so we can see our STARSCREAM Armor Scareglow with the axes in hand. See a Horde Trooper laying on the background, so I guess we're fighting a Horde. I think what's cool too is these weapons, the blasters, can either be blasters or axes. Then dropping down to the very bottom of the box, just look at the picture illustrations. So you can see it just says Don Crown to complete STARSCREAM Armor Scareglow. So it comes with the crown. And you can arm with the wing blasters. And again, you can turn them into axes as well. And then here's a look at the art on the right-hand side of the box of STARSCREAM in his F-22 Raptor form. And of course, here's a look at the art on the left-hand side of the box of Scareglow himself. Before we check out this new Scareglow with all his accessories, here's a new comic he comes with called Rollout. So we'll just flip the page. I'll bring it up close. You want to pause and read it. Check out the images. Skeletor, Castle Grayskull. There's Man in Arms. I didn't review him. I do have him. And there's a new He-Man. He's coming out as well. He's going to be the Ford figure. I think he's actually out now. Floating around online. Some good old Transformers blaster explosions going on. Pretty cool looking sword, that new He-Man. This page. Here's a quick look around a new STARSCREAM Armor Scareglow out of package with all his accessories. Taking a closer look at this new head sculpt for the STARSCREAM Scareglow. Yeah, interesting. The skull is very cybernetic. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But very different from the Origin Scareglow. It's a whole different face. Now, you can see the helmet, right? It covers the face, but there is no head underneath the helmet. It's just a faceplate pushed into a helmet from what I can see. Pretty cool details. The eyes are sculpted, recessed in, painted red, and you can see all the painting as far as where the teeth and the jawbone would be. So I like that. As far as the articulation with this helmet head on the body, you can look all the way to the left, the right. You can go all the way down and look up. And then here's a look at the back of it, top. Now, I want to remove, let's take this off the body for a second. Hopefully it comes right off easy, yep. And then here's a better look at the inside of it. See what I mean? This is just like a skull, a plate that's pushed and glued in. So I guess it could come out if you wanted it to, but it's not a head, or a helmet on a head, which would have been cool. Just look at the ball peg and the neck, and that's pretty much it. Very simple. Now the next thing is, let's get into this crown piece where we're working on the head and looking at the head. These pieces are all bent and warped. The tops, you can bend them back. It's really soft as far as plastic. And then you have these two tabs here. So to put the crown on the head, if you go back to the illustrations on the box, it just pushes down and sits there like so. It's supposed to go all the way down to the close to the nose from what it showed, but it makes no sense. You see these two tabs, I thought there'd be like two little slots or something, and there isn't. So let me try this again, because I was messing around with this. I'm like, why can't I get this crown to fit or sit on the head properly? How about that? All right, so that's how it sits, but it just hangs there. There's two tabs that just like filler pieces. See how this has been? So yeah, I don't even like this crown. It's terrible. It doesn't work right on my figure. Maybe I'll have to mess around a little while, but all right, that's pretty much it as far as the head, skull, and crown. We'll get back to that. So dropping down, there's a look at the mech armor he's wearing from STARSCREAM. Interesting. You can see the fuselage of what would be the jet piece, right? Just the overall plating. And then, so you can see this parts of the armor, I believe, glow in the dark. We'll get to that soon. Because again, as I was saying earlier, the only things that glow on his figure, I think, is the face, this, and some of the arms. I don't think the legs do, because I tested it again off camera. But here's a better look at everything. And you can spin at the waist as far as articulation. And if you go down, you can part at the waist. Very simple. Here's a look at the inside, the main waist. You can put another pair of legs on him if you wanted to. Snap like that. Has his own unique style, belt, or shorts, mechanical shorts. And then moving up to the arms. So he has these shoulder pieces, right? That are like the afterburners or the tail fins, I guess part of the jet, the Raptor. Now they can spin around like this, and you can see you got to remove the arms to take them off if you want to. Here's a look at the arms. And there's holes where those blasters are going to plug into. We'll get to that soon. And aside from this, it's a standard Origin style arm. As far as the bicep, I think you can see the painting. This part's supposedly glow in the dark. And then dropping down, here's a look at the big weapon gauntlets that are, it's their own style forearm, It's not like they come off. And so as far as the arm articulation with the shoulder pad on, you can, that's tight. That's as far as you can go out. You can go down. You can go forward. You go back. And you notice this spins, but again, you can spin this back and forth out of the way. It's really loose. So if you bend the elbow, that's as far as you can go with it, to the center of the body, and extremely limited with this gauntlet. Skeletor was the same way. It didn't really make sense. And then he has a weapon gripping hand that it's casted in like I don't think this glows in the dark either. It's just this type of color. So you can spin it the hand, and the hinge joint go in and out like so. Oh, really weird. And then going over to the left side, same thing with this piece that can spin back and forth. Right, you're familiar with this. The arm, let's test it out, and I can't even move it. Okay, go as far as I can go up and down. You can see the hinge joint. Right, go forward, and go all the way back. The cape's in the way. Bend at the elbow, spin at the elbow. Excuse me, I should have showed that. And same type of big weapon gauntlet, and you can turn it. See, so you can spin at the elbow to the waist, but again, with the articulation, that's as far as you're going to go to the face or center of the body. So we're extremely limited, or just straighten out. And it's the same type of weapon gripping hand that can spin, and the hinge joint can go in and out. But it's also limited too because of this gauntlet. Again, Skeletor was the same way. It was very limited. It was just really odd design. So it's already disappointing with Scareglow. All right, so we talked about the waist. I'm going to spin him around. Let's take a look at the cape. So he has a new style cape that's different from the Origin Scareglow. It's its own, it's pretty cool. I like the texture and the fabric in the background. Right, it's a purple color. Here's a look from the back. Now, it is a separate piece. See, if I pull this, and there's two pegs on the back, but mine is glued in. If I pull it, it's ready to rip. You can see like the white in the cape. So they do come off, but this is glued in. So you'd have to break the glue spots and not be careful not to damage the cape. And here's a look from the back. That's cool. He has like a little spine piece. Yeah, you can see the armor too is all part of it. It's all a whole new buck. Obviously, nothing comes off. See, it would have been cool too if they made the armor like removable in a standard Origins buck, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. Instead of its own thing, being it doesn't transform or nothing, would have been cool if you could take it off somehow. But its own piece. So okay, we talked about the arms, the waist. Now the other thing is going back to the arms. So okay, we talked about the cape, right? Now going back to these pieces, so let's do this on camera. I'm going to remove the arm. I just want to see something here. So it should be a standard. Oh, that's okay. There we go. So it's a standard Origins peg, right? There's a look from the inside, and there's a look from the arm without that piece on. And then here's the shoulder piece, so you can see how it has to go inside this arm and how it rests and how it can spin. And if you didn't want to use that, I mean, I think you would want to because it looks goofy. And put the arm back in. And these are on an angle, by the way, so when you put them in, you really got to, like, they have a hard time, okay, there you go, catch them. And there you look at it. So there's a look at the arm without. It kind of looks goofy because it is cut. You know, maybe once you put the weapons on, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to leave that off for now. We're familiar with this one. Let's finish up the articulation. So again, we were talking about the waist come apart, and there's a look at the legs. So they are standard Origin style legs, at least for the upper parts, and then, yeah, the ankle part as well, I think. And you can see where they painted the colors that you would think glow. But again, going back to the hands, it's like that pale yellowish color that looks like glow-in-the-dark paint or reflective paint, but it doesn't. And I'll show you that soon. But that's what they chose to do, and then the legs are mainly black. So as far as the articulation with the legs, you can go all the way out. Now, again, they're standard Origin style, old school legs. These don't come off without really heating them. Easy like a lot of newer figures. Kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee, all the typical stuff. And then here's a look at the new boot, which is going to be removed. Just going to leave it on, but you can spin at the boot. I think, yeah. So it has little fins again, like the little tail on the end of the jet. That's pretty cool. Here's a look at the foot. As far as articulation with the foot, you can go up, down, rock side to side. And then take a look at the other leg, all the same. Let's test it out. Kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. Actually, that looks a little different. Yeah, okay. So this is actually, see the knee piece that goes into this, the ankle? It is, okay, it is different. But this is a regular Origin style leg. Just want to point that out from what I can see. And the same boot. You know, we could spin at the boot. Again, here's a look at the details, the fins. I like the painting on it. And then the foot, and go up, down, and rock side to side. Moving forward, taking a look at STARSCREAM, Scareglow's weapons and accessories. So, of course, he just comes with these blaster / axe weapons. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. These are going to pop into the arms, which I'll show in a second. Obviously, this is the axe blade you would hold to here. There's a look at the blaster, and you can see the little Decepticon logo on both sides. So it's a cool accessory. And we already talked about this crown. Yeah, again, off camera, I tried putting this on the head. It just sits there and it falls right off. Once again, jumping back over to STARSCREAM, Scareglow. Let's put the blasters and the shoulder pieces. All right, so obviously the little pegs are going to just push in like so. And then yeah, you got to get the arms out of the way because of the big gauntlets. And just going to put the other one on the other side. They're both identical. And then there's a quick look at that setup. So we have the blasters on each arm. And, you know, you can straighten your arm out, keep it forward if you want one blaster looking like that. It's pretty cool. Or you can keep the arm all the way down, and these can articulate like in a position down along parallel with the arm or all the way up like so. And then here's a quick look at those blasters converted to axes in hand. So obviously I just pulled them out of the arms and put them in like axes. So that's pretty cool. You can do that. Or you can put one in the hand as an axe and put the other back as a blaster. If you had two of these, you can put two axes with two blasters. Okay, once again, moving forward. So, of course, one of the most important parts of Scareglow is the glowing effect. Now, I'm going to put a light. I'm going to light them up a little bit with this LED light just to get the glow-in-the-dark effects glowing somewhat. All right, so I'm going to go for the face, and glow the arms, the weapons, whatever I think glows, and then the lower part of the legs. So there you have it. And there's a glow-in-the-dark effects with the lights off. The main part of the body is blue now. It's not green. Look at my Classics one in the back, how well it glows. And I didn't even put any light on him. You know, it's... The camera's actually picking it up better than he glows in front of my eyes. It's very dim. Now there's a look at the... Okay, the back. I want to pull the cape up. You can see that. So the body does glow. The face, parts of the armor. If you can see my finger in the background, the biceps, I said that. But nothing on the legs glow, or the weapons. So, I'm sorry, I'm put this light on again, right? Just going to do one of these. And, shut it off, right? So I'm in pitch dark, really dark in here. But look at that, wow. Nothing else glows. Now, the other thing I want to try is, Shut the light off once again, and I'm going to try a little black light. Let me see here. Okay, so I want to see maybe the paint's reflective on the legs and the boots. Not really. I mean, somewhat. You know, like when you're using a little black light. Excuse me. You can see what kind of reflects, but so yeah, the paint's not even. It just doesn't glow on the legs or the boots, and it's not like fluorescent. Somewhat, it's hard to tell. Definitely doesn't glow though. So the only parts of this figure that glow is what you see. That is it. Nothing on the boots or the paint on the legs, which makes no sense for a Scareglow figure. So with the lights back on, let's do a quick comparison between the new Starscream Scareglow and of course the regular Origin Scareglow. And there's a quick look at those two together because this is what Scareglow was or supposed to be, and he converted to Starscream. And that's it. Completely different, right? I mean, yeah, the upper parts of the legs, the things I already pointed out, the arms, it's the same bicep, but arm, everything's different aside the parts I pointed out. Capes are even different, completely different, right? I thought they would use the same cape, but I guess they had to make a different one to snap onto the back of the armor. And once again, let's put a little light on these guys. The Origins one, our Transformers version. So there we go. You can see the Classics one blaring away in the background. Look at the Origins one. That's Scareglow. Look at how he's glowing. I love the green colors, how the black definition of all the black highlights. And the Transformers one, I mean, the blue is interesting. It does something different, but it's just does not stand out anything close to with this Origin Scareglow as far as how the glowing effects go. Wow. All right, so that about does it. That's my review on the new Starscream Armor Scareglow. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. You know, it's an interesting design. The mixed Scareglow is part of this Transformers collaboration with the armor and the overall tech look. You know, the cape's cool. I mean, I like the weapons that you can turn them into two blasters on the arms or axes. It is a neat, face sculpt with the helmet. I think it would have been better if the helmet could come off and it was a skull. I kind of didn't expect that, but that's what it's going for. Very limited on articulation with the arms. Very similar to Skeletor. This crown is, it's worthless. I mean, maybe I got to put some tape. You could definitely put it on better, but on my figure, it just sits there, and the minute you move it, it just pops right off. Just worthless. My biggest gripe, though, is the glow-in-the-dark effects. I mean, barely glows. It's, you're going for something different with the blue colors. I don't mind that. We do have different, as far as Scareglow, a green version with the Origins, if you have the Vintage or the Classics. So I didn't mind the blue, but the legs don't do nothing. None of this paint reflects from what I can see. It doesn't glow. I thought at first it was glow-in-the-dark paint, or the boots. They should have made everything glow. I think the weapons, the boots, could have had glow-in-the-dark paint, or just give them regular legs like the Origins. And, you can swap some parts around, but there's no point. Because if you put the head on here, the armor that has a bluish color with a green tone, and you put the arms, and it just doesn't. I started playing around off camera with it. I didn't like it. I don't even want to waste my time with it. This is awesome. I absolutely love the Scareglow. You're not going to take this away from me. As far as my favorites is with the Origins, this was just another variant. And aside the little gadgets and techno look, if you like Transformers, and if the glow-in-the-dark effects don't really bother you that much, then it's a cool looking figure. But for me, yeah, I'm disappointed with that. I expect a little more out of this figure. Be honest. And that's about it. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, take care.